What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Espresso, and welcome back to another Black Ops 3 video here today on the channel. Today, we're going to be taking a look at something and debunking something that I truly don't know how it's gotten around like it has, but that being the supposed leaked gameplay of the 10th Specialist Blackjack that has been going around in the past 24 to 36 hours or so here on YouTube, and you may have seen it for yourselves, but we're going to be debunking it here today. Now, here's the thing. We've known about the existence of this 10th Specialist for quite some time now. It started back, honestly, in the early months of Black Ops 3, but if you want to talk about stuff that was not confirmed, it was actually right after launch and even considerably even before so, due to leaks which at the time were nothing more than info, but they ended up holding to be true, and over time we ended up getting more information to credit those. Well, as of recent months, we've had a few in-game files come out with strings of assets denoting the name of the specialist, the ability to steal other players' specialist items, audio files including direct cues from other in-game characters, and even from Blackjack himself, and as of a week or two ago, we even had more strings of code come out with the introduction of contracts that suggest that Blackjack will be a similar specialist to the timed armor from Advanced Warfare, where you earn it from the contracts and then you have it for X amount of time. So I think it's really only a matter of when, not if, Blackjack comes into the game. Sure, a massive curveball could be coming and we don't ever get it, but for the time being, it seems like all signs are pointing to Blackjack at some point in time coming to Black Ops 3. So this has stirred the pot a little bit. Everyone wants to be the first to get that jump up on the competition and have Blackjack first. Well, as I'm sure you can imagine, it's created a lot of hoaxes over the course of time, and the most recent foe, Blackjack, was an image that we've talked about here previously. It was an IPB forum site default gallery for profile pictures. It was found within that, so anything that used the IPB forum software, it really pulled from the same database of default images, and that was one of them. And now for the final time, it's something that would not happen because in game dev, it has to be completely unique. Treyarch and Activision would get sued if they were not a complete unique asset in the game if there was no licensing agreement in place, which for an IPB forum site just to pull an image out of that, I don't think that's something that would happen. But this newest one popped up in multiple videos yesterday, and I want to firstly let you know that these are not real gameplays. The footage in question is fabricated, and we'll be taking a look at just how easy it is to debunk it here in a second, but before we get into that, the gameplay in question was supposedly a glitch that happened when a player was about to get their kinetic armor, a semi-plausible theory, I guess, which, because we've seen Black Ops 3 bug out previously, some instances including dropping ballistic knives in the spectator or codcaster view of private matches, kill feeds appearing with items that are not really in the game just yet and would be released later, stuff like that. So I mean, I guess it's not the most obviously blatant thing here that would happen. It would be somewhat believable, but the image and gameplay is completely fake. Let's talk about consistency. This is where I'd like to think that I have an eye for this kind of stuff. My OCD just picks up on this just immediately. Game dev works over symmetry and consistency when it comes to not only the game overall, but the in-game design such as overlays, which in this case would be your HUD in-game. So first, let's compare the symmetry of a standard message when your specialist is ready. As you can tell, it's symmetrical to the pixel, perhaps maybe off by 1 pixel or 2 since it is blown up here, but this is something that any designer would pay very much so close attention to because it's like an eyesore for somebody who doesn't have it symmetrical in center for someone viewing this. Another thing that we have to keep in mind is this is very consistent. There's a gradient that is part of the dialog box. The yellow is not a standard set solid yellow, instead it's a various number of shades of yellow that will extend the full length of the dialog box. Very subtle, but a gradient nonetheless. So with that out of the way, let's take a look at the image and gameplay in question here. This is about just exactly the opposite of what we talked about with this standard image. Symmetry-wise, it is way off center, like almost double the distance from the direct center of the dialog box, but that was a huge red flag to me, but truthfully, as obvious as this one was, it wasn't the one that I picked up at first glance. What that one was, though, was that the colors are off here within this. This was something that was just slapped on top of the dialog box that we see in the normal game, and it's just a solid yellow color overlaid on top of the kinetic armor ready message so that it can hold the text Blackjack ready. But there's still a sliver above it where you can see the base gradient in which it clashes with the solid one color yellow. Now, as you can see in the backdrop Photoshop color swatch testing, you can see that it still does slightly vary, but my best guess is that that's due to color correction settings in whatever video editor it was to make this. Basically, a default color correction acts as a gradient with different overlay settings on top of whatever it is being put on top of, so it then distorts some coloring based on various lighting patterns within whatever it's going on top of. So with that said, I think that just about does it, and actually now looking at this a little bit more while going over this, it almost looks to me that the font spacing is inconsistent with the normal specialist ribbon that pops up and this one that is in question. But regardless, these two things here blow this out of the water for me. I definitely don't see any validity here within this. I definitely think this footage is fake, and I don't think there's anything really to believe here with it. So that's done, it's debunked. Don't get your hopes up just yet. Keep your eyes peeled though, because I do think we'll still be getting Blackjack, but just not right here today with this footage. But nonetheless, that's where we're gonna wrap it up here today, ladies and gentlemen. This kind of reminds me of one of those things like on Tumblr or something, like if so-and-so can get so many likes, how many can this get? So if fake footage can get hundreds of likes, how many can this debunking get? Nonetheless though, leave a like down below if you enjoyed. Leave your thoughts down there in the comment section down below. Did you guys pick up on this at all? Did you see this at all even? And if so, what do you think here of it? Love to hear your thoughts. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys liked the video, be sure to like rating down below. And if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. We're on that road to 40,000 subscribers. So of course, every little bit does help. It is of course greatly appreciated. But might as well be a cool espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.